Hi everyone, I'm Alex Alguacil. Today I want to present you my new CD that we just released, dedicated to Granados and his Goyescas. This CD is released by label Solfa Recordings, and it includes all the piano music that Granados composed, inspired by some of the paintings of Goya. It includes, of course, the famous suite Los Majos Enamorados, the famous group that is always referred to as Goyescas, with titles that describe scenes and characters of Goya's paintings, with sort of a narrative and a story of love and death. But this CD also includes some other works for piano solo that Granados composed related to Goya. Granados was very inspired by the world of Goya, and not only he composed music, but he also wrote poetry, even painted some sketches of scenes or characters like the ones in Goya's paintings, like those sketches that seem to depict a majo at a window that makes a clear reference to the second piece of the suite called Coloquio en la Reja. Some of the musical material from Goyescas, he used it in some of his other compositions, and he used some of those themes and motifs also in this small group of pieces that I was referring to. The most famous piece of this group is, of course, El Pelele, the dummy, which doesn't belong to the original suite, but is usually played along with it because it shares its character and its virtuosic nature. The rest of the pieces from this group are much less ambitious in scope. They're much easier to play than the ones from the suite, and they're shorter. They're sort of sketches, like those sketches that Granados painted, but they show very interesting aspects. They're very transparent, and we can see much easier some of Granados' Goyesque ideas. Serenata Goyesca is a lyrical nocturnal serenade that starts with the same harmonic progression that Granados uses in many parts of the suite, along with descending melodies that reminds us of the lament motif or the Andalusian cadence, also present in the suite. Jácara is a dance, to sing and dance, as its name indicates, and it is related to Goyescas in the use of the same theme that Granados uses in several parts of the suite, the copla of love and death. Crepúsculo, Twilight, subtitled Goyescas, is another nocturnal piece with a serene and calm atmosphere that reminds us of the character of Coloquio en la Reja. And Reverie Improvisation was actually an improvisation that Granados did the very last year of his life at a piano roll during his stay at the United States. It is also in this group, since it seems an extension of his work Crepúsculo, and it contains many characteristic musical resources that Granados employs in his Goyesque universe. Some of you might know my video in which I analyze the themes and motifs of Goyescas, and in this CD I have included also an analysis of the work and I have written a small essay called Goyescas or the Laments of Granados, referring to the laments or the Maiden and the Nightingale, because I personally understand this suite as a great lament, a motif very present in the music that seems to unify all the character of the suite. Furthermore, this lament motif is closely related to the Spanish Andalusian cadence, which gives it that national Spanish sound and color. In Goyescas we find this lament motif in many different ways. Sometimes the actual motif, but some other times a longer version of it or a shorter version, always descending, always lamenting, which gives its dramatic and desperate character to the music. And curiously enough, these other Goyesque works contain this lament motif, but an inversion of it. Instead of having a descending, painful and lamenting motif, they show an ascending motif, upwards, more of a romantic aspiration, which gives the character of this group of works a more uplifting and joyful spirit. I hope you enjoy this new CD of mine. Soon I'll be making some other videos talking more specifically about some of these shorter works from Goyescas. You can listen to the CD on musical media platforms. The CD is also available for purchase. I will leave the information in the description, as well as some of the next concerts in which I'll be presenting the CD.